Hello, you guys. Welcome back to Lighthouse Ministries. I hope you guys are doing well today. We do have another word for you guys, and the word is you have a choice to make.
Yes, so guys, we all have a choice to make with Christ. We have a choice to choose life or we can choose death. We can choose sin or we can choose Jesus. And we all have a choice to make. But we want to get a little bit in depth about the choices that we had to make following God. What we had to give up. Things that we wanted and desired, but we had to choose God's desires over our own.
Yeah.
This whole word started from a dream about 2 years ago. Okay. And I'll let you go ahead and
And this dream was about choosing darker light. And we was first moving to Dallas, and at the time, I didn't have desires of my heart, and I wanted them, but I couldn't have it at the time. And I was fading into God, but also going into the world. So I was lukewarm at the time, we call it. And God gave me a dream. You're going to have to choose the dark side or the light, but you can't choose both. So as the dream go along, I was going into this dark basement, and it had all my desires down there. It had the house, the clothes, the finance, just everything my heart desired at that time. But it was like signing myself over to the devil to get that.
yeah.
I rejected it, and I said no, and I walked back towards the light.
Yeah, so you had an opportunity to choose good or dark.
Yeah.
You know, the Bible says make good use of every good opportunity that comes your way.
Yeah.
But so we was in this place, you guys, and excuse our son in the background. We was in this place where we was in this hotel room for the first time. We was low on money. We was actually just now entering our wilderness season. If you guys know what a wilderness season is, and was also going through like a Job season because we lost everything, and was just going through it, and it was just so many things. Like we can continue to follow Christ, or we can just turn and go back and do our own way. So God was giving us this opportunity. He was like, you can go this way or you can come back and stay over here. So even though at that time, like she said, was kind of being lukewarm, but I constantly just kept praying. I kept praying. And I realized that I couldn't let go of God. No matter if I didn't have everything I needed, no matter if I didn't have what I wanted, I could not let go of God. So I chose light that day.
Yeah.
And so since we chose light, God gave us light. And that doesn't mean that we had everything that we wanted. Y'all, we had to break ties to those desires. We was in the hotel room for almost a year, and then we still was battling different places. And, you know, we didn't have what we want. We still was struggling a lot. But it was our wilderness season. And so we had to choose, because God wasn't going to take us out of the wilderness just because we were sad or crying or going through a struggle.
Yeah.
We had to endure to the end. So you have a choice to make, and we want to give you guys a couple scriptures about choices, okay? So the first scripture that we're going to give you guys is Deuteronomy 26, verse 16 and 17.
Alrighty, you guys. Today, the Lord your God has commanded you to obey all those decrees and regulations. So be careful to obey them wholeheartedly. You have declared today that the Lord is your God, and you have promised to walk in his ways and obey his decrees, commands, and regulations, and do everything he tells you.
Yes. So it says that you have declared it, you have spoken it, you have announced that I am following Jesus, that I am doing it your way. So he said, since you have announced it, that you have to do it wholeheartedly. You cannot be lukewarm in and out every time something gets hard. You have made your mind up. You have made the decision to follow me. It's not going to be easy. God did not promise easy, but he just promised that he was going to get you through it. So that you have made your choice to follow God. That means he wants you to obey his commandments, his rules, his regulations, and the things like that. One of the things that we definitely came to Christ about was our marriage. We was destroyed in the world. And if you know anything about our marriage, we was kind of way worldly, way crazy. But we decided that we're going to follow the decrees of God. We're going to follow the law. We're going to follow what he keeps telling us to do all the time. But when we hit that point, we had another choice to make, to continue or to go back. And so we decided to continue the new journey with Christ. And so we just giving you guys some encouragement to continue that journey. Don't stop right now. Don't stop because it's hard. Don't stop because My son put in my leg. But don't stop because it seems a little difficult to continue that path, to continue that journey. Because the best choice that you can ever make is to follow Christ. The enemy do not want you to believe so. So what she said in the dream, before we get to the next verse really quickly, is that all of her desires was in the basement. It was this dark, scary place. She knew, I can get my desires, but I'm going to have to go down here.
Yeah.
Meaning, if I get my desires, I'm probably going to go to hell.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's not going to be fun. But see, what the enemy will do is he'll trick you. Once I give you this house, I give you this car, I give you this newness, that everything is going to be perfect. Everything is going to be fine. And it's all a lie. It's only going to be perfect if God does it for you.
Exactly.
So make that right choice. So let's get into the next scripture. It's Deuteronomy 30, verse 15. Sorry about that. So it says, now listen today, I'm giving you a choice between life and death, between prosperity and disaster. For I command you to this day to love the Lord your God and keep his commands, decrees, regulations by walking in his ways. If you do this, you will live and multiply, and the Lord your God will bless you in the land that you're about to occupy. But if your heart turns away and refuse to listen, and if you are drawn away to serve and worship other gods, then I warn you now, you will certainly be destroyed. You will not live a long, good life in the land you are crossing the Jordan to occupy. Today I have given you a choice between life and death, between blessings and curses. Now I call on the heaven and the earth to witness the choice that you make. Oh, that you would choose life so that you and your descendants might live. You can make this choice by loving the Lord your God and obeying him and committing yourself firmly to him. This is the key to your life. And if you love and obey the Lord, you will live long in the land your ancestors, the Lord have given to your ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So he is saying that he is giving you a choice to make. See, some of us is about to go into that next phase in our life. We're about to cross that Jordan. We're about to go into that blessing. But God is saying, even when you're in that position, when you're in that promised land, you have a choice. You still have a choice, even when you're in your promised land, to follow him. I remember the scripture with Joshua, and they had just entered into their promised land. God strictly told them not to keep anything to themselves. This guy took it and hid it under his tent. Caused the whole Israelites to go through a losing battle. This is like the first time they ever lost. Like, what's going on? And God told them, somebody in your camp is stealing from me, pretty much. And so what God did is he had them kill him and his whole family. But I want you guys to understand that he destroyed himself by not obeying him. He had a choice to make. He could have just kept going what God already gave him, or he could have took it for himself. So in this place that God is finna give you, this new position, this new homes, these new things, these new blessings, you have a choice to make. You can keep God in it, or you can just go on back to what you used to do. But if you go back to what you used to do, God will destroy it. You have to obey him in his blessing. Otherwise, he will remove the blessing right from under you. Talk to Saul about God removing the blessing because you wasn't obeying. Saul had a choice to make. He could have obeyed God, but he decided to do something else. So God removed his seat right from under him. God is saying you have a choice today. So we encourage you guys to make the right decision. Choose God today. Follow his laws wherever he is sending you to. Do what he is telling you to do. It may be hard, but continue to do it. Do not turn this way or this way to stay focused directly on God today. Anything else you want to add? Okay, so you guys, if you made it this far in the video, God bless you. But we ask you to leave a comment on what's the choice that you have had to make with God.